Good morning, good evening, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we're going to be driving and reviewing the American Rank 5 battery rating 7.7 light tank, the XM-800T. But with that out of the way, let's take the XM-800T into battle. If you want to get notified by any news regarding the channel or be part of the decision making on what gets uploaded, or simply just chat away with me and the rest of the community, join the Discord link in the description. And on our first game on Seversk 13, I am making my way to a pretty good position, and in this position I can mostly harass the enemies trying to advance on Capture Point Alpha. And our first prey is a BTR-80 who just pushes forward without hearing any engine noises, and we kill him pretty easily. And with the great gun depression this tank possesses, I can work some pretty nasty angles, and you can actually surprise a lot of enemies from where you pop up and engage from, since many enemies are not used to these great angles that you can actually use with this tank. Now I did spot a Weasel 1A4 on the other side, so I'm just trying to get an angle, and when he rolls forward I kill him once again. I also see a Marder with his turret, so you can actually ammo rack them with the ammo 2 to 20 mil. If you shoot them on the right side of the tank, you can easily ammo rack them even if they're just exposing their turret. I do also see another BTR approaching from the other side. Using third person aiming I can get the shot pretty quickly and ammo rack him as well. And after having killed most of the enemies on the opposing hill, I feel safe to advance and capture Alpha Point for our team. I do still have to be wary of the enemy hill since I don't know if any enemies have returned to it. And judging by what the minimap shows, there are still enemies on that hill. But using this house I can pretty easily capture Alpha and rearm my tank as well. Now I did actually relocate to another position because I didn't feel safe occupying that area around the church. And as you can see, I was right in that decision as there are multiple enemies now advancing. I do see a Gepard trying to push out my friendly from the town, but from this position I can quite easily kill him when he reveals his turret, and he goes down pretty quickly as well. Now this game is not looking good for us as the enemies have already captured 3 of the points, so I try to advance to recapture this point and use the church as cover to not get shot from the hill. Luckily for us we don't actually go down from the shot from the M114 and it goes down a few seconds later. Now we advance to try to retake Capture Point Alpha. After having captured the point, I am now going to try to defend it the best I can from the enemy's attacks, and we do spot a TAM which is pretty easy for these APDS to go through. Now I did want to make my way over to capturing Bravo since we don't want to lose this game, but luckily for us we do find another tank which we pump some shots into, and that luckily for us, it gives us enough spawn points to spawn a nuke. With us dropping a nuke, getting 8 kills and 2 zones capture, we take first place. with a total of 5,920 research points and 82,431 silver lions. Second game brings us to Spaceport. I have tried to flank around a capture point in order to try to get sideshot on any enemies trying to capture it. We first start by deleting a leopard who tried to do the exact same thing. With this leopard now removed, we can now start getting shots on any enemies trying to capture Alpha Point, and we get the eyes on our first enemy, and that is a Swedish Oosh rocket car. So we can pretty easily penetrate and delete this guy, and we do so just in time as he would have killed one of our friendlies. Then, turning the attention forward, we spot two enemies, a Conqueror and a Martyr. We know that we won't be able to do anything to this Conqueror, especially at this range, so we're going to focus on this Martyr. And we start engaging him. I am trying to aim for his ammunition that feeds his 20mm, and we hit it and kill him. Just like in the previous game, if you hit this ammunition part on the side of his turret, you can kill him even if he's just showing his turret. Now on the capture point, trying to rearm some of my ammunition, I do spot a Tinker Max. I really don't know what he was doing, but he goes down pretty easily as well. Once we have rearmed, I would be making my way over to the B and the C areas, since that is where the enemy seems to be making the strongest push. Now, having arrived at the B capture point, I do hear an engine right in front of me. I don't know what it is. It sounded like a British one to me when I pulled up here, so I'm just going to lie in wait since I don't know what it is, and I'm not sure I will be able to kill it frontally. But it looks like a Carnarvon, so when he pulls forward I know that I can penetrate his side, and I do so easily. The thing you want to know with this tank is you don't want to just rush in blindly. You need to know what tank you're facing, since you only have 66mm of the penetration. You need to calculate every move. But luckily for us, this Conqueror doesn't seem to be very good at aiming. He only manages to slightly damage our engine, so we're just gonna drop some RT and try to flank him. But when we are flanking, we do hear another enemy, and that Martyr seems to be again totally unaware of our presence. So we're just gonna park up right here and try to repair our engine, and then help this friendly kill him. But we find another enemy, that being a Leopard 1. After having repaired, I'm going to advance on this Conqueror to try to kill him. We pull up behind him, shoot his transmission and engine, and setting him on fire. We're unfortunately not gonna be able to do anything else. We are also getting shot from the right side, so we're going to hide behind this building. We're taking out the Conqueror's barrel so he won't be able to shoot our allies, and our allies does clean them up for us. We are gonna go back to capture Bravo Point, and with 2000 spawn points I am now close to a nuke. So I'm gonna have to be a bit careful with how I play this, but my thought was after I captured Bravo Point I'm going to make my way over to Charlie, go behind Charlie, kill any enemies having a overwatch on both Bravo and Charlie. And if that doesn't suffice with the spawn points, I will be going over to try to capture it. Having arrived on Charlie Point's vicinities, we do spot the target I was looking for. It is a French heavy tank, the Somoa SM. And from previous experiences I know I can penetrate his side. Unfortunately for us, we only managed to kill his driver and radio operator, but after reloading we do manage to kill his turret crew as well. With the fantastic depression angle this tank possesses, you can play on almost every hill and make almost every terrain work. And you need to take advantage of this if you're gonna have success in this tank, since the enemies are gonna be totally surprised when you pull up from hills they've never seen anyone else play before. Unfortunately for us though, we do get to the Charlie Point late and we are requiring some extra SP. Luckily for us, this plane manages to appear right in front of us and we turn our attention right to him. And with the fantastic targeting speed this tank has, we can just swing around, point our gun to him and shoot him out of the air. And that also means we have enough spawn points to drop a second nuke. With a nuked drop, 9 kills and 1 zone capture, we managed to take first place in our team again, with 9,383 research points and 91,014 silver alliance. And for our third and final game, I am on the Poland Winter, and I am going to try to take Bravo. Now during the capture I do see a diesel, and I managed to arc my shots over to kill him by detonating his ammunition. I do also see that my friendly on the point is getting shot at, but unfortunately I am replenishing crew since I took a hit during my travels to Bravo, so unfortunately I cannot do anything. Now I pull forward after replenishing crew to find this Marder 1 I spotted earlier. I send a short burst and actually managed to knock his crew out. Lucky for me, but nonetheless we will take a kill. Now I will try to move into a position where I can support this friendly tank without getting shot at myself. I do see that multiple enemies are in the town center. I start by scouting them, but in this position I am in now, I won't be able to kill them since I won't be able to go through their front armor. So I'm going to lie in wait and expect him to not ever notice me. And when the time is right, I will move forward. But the Guardian had messed with the ice, and from my knowledge before, you can traverse the ice pretty well, so I made a mistake by just trying to cross over it. Luckily for me though, I managed to knock out his barrel, machine gun and both tracks, and I actually get on his side, and when I'm on his side, killing him won't be an issue at all. After having replenished ammo, I see a DF-105 approaching, but with the great gun depression I can easily advance and engage him. I was planning to just short burst him and kill his turret crew, but unfortunately we do not manage to do so, but he just tries to hide and I kill him by detonating his ammunition. But the problem now is that I see 2 leopards right in front of me and I'm kinda stuck. So I'm just waiting for this friendly XM-800, but he doesn't seem to notice anything. But the leopards all turn their attention to him, and I go forward, take the first one. And this other leopard seems to be completely oblivious. Your typical German player who doesn't have a headset or knows what's going on. But that's good for me since I killed them both. With the Bravo area now secured, I am making my way over to try to retake Alpha Point to get our team a 3-0 advantage. Pulling in, I hear a multitude of enemies, but I focus on this one right in front of me. Unfortunately for me, he goes down, but there are still a lot of enemies in this area. I see a M114. I cannot do anything to his immediate front, so I will retreat and try to flank him. But I do now get confused and I don't know which side he's gonna appear on. And I don't actually see him go behind this house, so I just reverse forward right into him. But luckily for me, he only manages to kill my engine. So I disable both his heavy MG and his tracks and his gun, so he won't be able to do anything to me. And I have a pretty good crew, so I will be able to repair it pretty quickly. This Waffenträger just pulls forward and yeah, he goes down as well. He has like no armor. So I'm just waiting for me to repair my engine. And he gets taken care of by a friendly. So now I'm just going to try to advance to retake Alpha Point. Now I didn't actually hear this Ruicat. I was focusing on some aircraft, but he didn't manage to see me as well, so it all works out. He was kinda blind as well. But I do hear another engine to my immediate left, and I really don't know what it is. It sounded like a Russian engine to me, but I wasn't completely sure. Russian tanks are notoriously hard to kill for this thing, and it turned out to be true. It is a T-44 and I can do basically nothing. He does whiff his shot though, so I can take out his barrel and his track and try to flank him. And our teammates are engaging him as well, so it it should work out pretty good. I'm a bit unsure where to kill him, so I'm just gonna take out his tracks and his engine. So I'm gonna move on and leave him to my allies, but I'm getting shot in the rear as well by multiple enemies, a Leopard and a VK. The Leopard I know I can penetrate, so I disable him so I won't be able to do anything, and I also disable the VK's turret. But I run out of ammunition, and the Leopard actually kills me. But we managed to get enough spawn points to drop a nuke, so it doesn't actually matter. With a total of 8 kills and 2 zones captured, we managed to take first place with a nuke drop, managing to earn a total of 7,293 research points and 92,552 silver lions.